Why just hurl your comedic barbs from the sidelines when you can directly tamper with how Washington works? Well, that's the new game plan anyway for liberal comedian Bill Maher, host of HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher. He says this year his show will be entering into the exciting world of outright meddling with the political process by working with his fans to flip a district and knock a lawmaker of his audience's choosing out of power. I spoke with Maher and asked him to explain his new plot.
Well, after I got Obama elected last year with my $1 million contribution, I thought, what the hell, I'll keep going. No, I just think a lot of it was because we were reading a lot about how people are so dissatisfied with their congressperson. You know, there's this tremendous paradox in America that the approval rating of Congress is, sometimes it's as low as 10%, and yet the rate of Congress people who are returned to office is over 90. How can that be? So we thought we would test it, and the response has been amazing. People really do, on an individual district basis, not like the people who are representing them very often. And we think that if we just shine a little light on some of these people, we might be able to flip one.
So Roll Call, one of the newspapers of Capitol Hill, asked some Republican members of Congress what they thought. Congressman Steve King, Republican of Iowa, he said, you should run. He said, quote, anybody that would put their name on the ballot is deserving of our respect. So let's see if I can start to respect Bill Maher. That was his thing. And he said also that then all the comedians can make fun of you. Have you ever thought about running for office?
Oh, Steve King, the second creepiest guy the first creepiest guy named Steve King. Of course not. You know, I'm an atheist pot smoker. It's never going to happen, nor is it something I ever want to do. And I detect in some of these responses from Republican congressmen that they're a little afraid of the disinfectant that is sunlight. And you should be afraid. Be very afraid.
So you were active, as you mentioned, in the 2012 election. You gave $1 million to Priorities USA, the pro-Obama super PAC. Do you have any favorites for 2016? Is there anyone you want to see run, not for comedic purposes, but for leadership?
I thought you were going to say, do you have any money left? Do I? Well, you know, for my own selfish reasons, I would like to see Ted Cruz and Rand Paul and the rest of the insane clown posse run. And I'm sure there will be some people on the right who are, great fodder for us. But, you know, I'm a patriot first, I like to think. So I want the most qualified people. I don't know who that is anymore on the right. I mean, there was Chris Christie. He was going to be the guy who was going to bridge, no pun intended, the gap between, the crazies and the potty-trained Republicans. But he doesn't look like he's going anywhere anymore. So I don't even know who to root for on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, I mean, we all know it's going to be Hillary, so what are we even talking about that for?
I remember a time when you were more of a libertarian and you didn't like either party. Do you think that you have changed in your politics, or do you think the parties have changed?
Absolutely the parties. I haven't changed at all. I mean, libertarian, I don't know how that stuck around my neck like a millstone. All I ever said was that I think, people should be able to do whatever they do to themselves. If it doesn't hurt anybody else, it shouldn't be a law. I think this is basic libertarianism. Libertarians are the one who became these Ayn Rand nutcases who think we shouldn't have traffic lights, or, FEMA shouldn't exist. People should fend for themselves in a hurricane, or I don't know what they think anymore. But absolutely, I mean, this is well documented that it's the Republican Party that moved to the right. I mean, you can tell this by the fact that Democratic policies like Obamacare are old Republican policies. Cap and trade is an old Republican policy. The Republican Party of 20 years ago became the Democratic Party today, and our biggest problem in politics, I think, is that we really don't have a left party.
You're outspoken on the issue of marijuana. The president made headlines recently by saying marijuana, in his view, is no more dangerous than alcohol. I interviewed him not long ago, and I asked him about that. Mm-hmm. Are you considering not making marijuana a Schedule I narcotic?
Well, first of all, what is and isn't a Schedule I narcotic is a job for Congress.
I think it's the DEA that decides that.
It's not something by ourselves that we start changing.
So it is within the power of the Attorney General to change the classification. Are you frustrated, though, more largely about the president's position on marijuana legalization, or do you support where he is because he has changed a bit?
Well, I mean, he's evolving very slowly. I'm hoping Joe Biden makes another gaffe like he did with gay marriage and forces the president to evolve a little more quickly. I forgave him a lot more in the first term. I understood why the first black president couldn't be the one to get into office and go, hey, let's spark up, everybody. It'll make all the other decisions easier. But it is the second term. I don't know what he's got to lose. And let's be honest. He was in something called the Choom Gang when he was in Hawaii. If anybody knows that marijuana doesn't prevent you from rising to the top, it would be him. And, you know, we arrest an awful lot of people for simple possession. And it affects your life. It affects housing. It affects getting into college, jobs, voting. It's not a trivial matter. And it's you know, the main reason drug arrest is why we throw more people in prison per capita than I think any other nation on earth. And, you know, the prison, alcohol, and pharmaceutical industries benefit greatly from marijuana remaining illegal, and I just hope the evolution on the part of the Democrats goes as quickly as it did once it started with gay marriage.